streets ravaged by quail birds. And former governors Joshua Darie and Jolie Iyame breathed in the clement air of freedom. Letter of clemency from Presidential Prerogative of Mercy Committee breaks the shackles of ex-state executives and orders. Hello and thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I am Jummai Yusuf. Michael Olale joins us from the city of Lagos and Gabriel Aminike from Port Harcourt. Don't forget you can follow us live on our website nta.ng/live and as well as all the social media platforms displayed on the screen. We begin with sports. Team Nigeria put up a show on day 11 of the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham with more medals won and more records broken. Let's join Daniel Adere for more on the Commonwealth update.
Ever heard of the saying, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof? Well, Team Nigeria on day 10 of the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham certainly gave credence to this. It all started when track queen and reigning world champion Oluwatobiloba Amusan proved her naysayers wrong by running a games record time of 12.30 seconds in the finals of the women's 100 meters hurdles, thereby making her the first world champion to become the two-time Commonwealth champion.
Watch for Amazan. She's fourth from the left-hand side. Kappa's got away well, and Amazan's under a little bit of pressure. Now beginning to pull away the world champion, the world record holder. She's on her way to a successful title defence. Semba's on the podium, and so too Charlton of Bahamas. Their first medal, 12.129. Come at the hour, come at the champion. It's a successful title defence and a games record by a country mile. Amazan is on fire this season, and she has forgotten how to lose. Brilliant by the Nigerian.
And just when Nigerians were still basking in the euphoria of Tobi Amushan's emphatic victory, she took to the tracks again, this time in the starting leg of the women's 4x1 meters team. And like clockwork, her speed combined with that of Rosemary Chukwuma, Grace Nwokocha and Favour Ofili outdid an Elaine Thompson-Hera-led Jamaican quartet and also set an African record. Nigerians may have their varying challenges, but they certainly band together when the need arises.
Favour, Favour, give us the favour. Come on, Favour. Hey, Favour, sorry. Hey, brother. Hey, Favour, come on. We are in the league. Nigeria for gold. Nigeria for gold. Yes, my babies did it. Yes.
Nigeria first.
Meanwhile, the men's 4x1 meter team didn't win gold. Rather, they finished in third to clinch bronze. However, it was enough to increase Team Nigeria's medal tally. And while men and women alike prepared for bed, a female stallion in the form of World Championship silver medalist Ese Brume also leaped to another games record of 7 meters in the women's long jump event finals, making her a two-time Commonwealth champion. Team Nigeria finished Commonwealth Games as the highest-ranked African nation in 7th, with a total of 35 medals.
And in historic record-breaking fashion, Team Nigeria to the second 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England, christened their names in gold and restored Nigeria's sporting glory in the Committee of Nations. Sports correspondent Abdullahi Ajia brings us some of the cheering moments that gave us a sense of national pride.
Nigeria has been part of the Commonwealth Games since 1950, when the country first debuted, winning just one medal. Subsequent editions of the Games have seen Team Nigeria increasing its medals haul, including the best outing in 1994, which had remained Nigeria's reference point in the history of her participation. Not until this 22nd edition
for the 2022 Commonwealth Games
in Birmingham, where a new record best with 12 gold, 9 silver and 14 bronze medals making a total of 35, puts the country tops, finishing 7th on the overall table of 72 participating nations. A performance many described as exceeding expectations from 94 athletes in just 9 sports.
I love the way they're running in this Commonwealth. They have been amazing.
The Nigerian athletes have also done us proud. Wrestling, weightlifting, athletics, just such a, with the very young people.
I think Toby for me today was my main attraction. I was also here last night to see Billy win her silver medal in 200 meters. And I think the Commonwealth stage is a really good time for Nigeria to go out through Thailand.
Beyond the collective and team glory, Nigeria's individual athletes made podium finishes in grand style, breaking and setting new Commonwealth records. World and Commonwealth Women's 100 meters hurdles champion Toby Amundsen and a host of others are making global headlines and a talking point in the media space.
Chambers on the podium and so too Charlton of Bahamas. Their first medal, 12.129. Cometh the hour, cometh the champion. It's a successful title defence and a games record by a country mile. Amazon is on fire this season.
This is what I've been praying for to be, it's just overwhelming overall, but I can't be more thankful because it's been God out through.
Was brilliant from Nigeria.
That is, in fact, a new Commonwealth Games record at 6 meters and 99.
Although there are highs and lows of the competition, experts believe much can be achieved if the necessary wherewithal and preparations are put in place.
I just hope that Nigeria continue with this faith, getting it right for the next All Africa Games or Africa Games and then the next Olympics. If we can take it off from here, I must say Nigeria will soon rule the world in athletics.
While the celebration lasts, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari joins millions of sports-loving Nigerians to salute the memorable display of Team Nigeria's athletes, commending their effort that has brought national pride to the country. Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
And as the curtain draws on the 22nd Commonwealth Games in Birmingham 2022, President Muhammadu Buhari celebrates the athletes that represented Nigeria gloriously in the competition. The president joined millions of other sports-loving Nigerians to watch some of the colorful and spectacular moments in the 11-day competition, which had no fewer than 50,000 athletes representing 72 nations and territories competing in 280 medal events. Saluting the memorable display of Team Nigeria athletes, the president commends the 94 worthy ambassadors that proudly flew the Nigerian flag in 9 sporting events, and for those exciting moments when the medalists brought smiles to the faces by breaking world, national and games records, as well as achieving personal best in their career. And joining me in the studio is the Honourable Minister of Sports and Youth Development, Mr. Sunday Dari. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
To you and to Nigerians.
And thank you, NTA, for having me.
I'm still excited, actually.
Absolutely.
And 12 times the world was made to stop and listen to the Nigerian national anthem.
Absolutely.
At the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. 35 times our athletes climbed the podium with pride. You must be buzzing with excitement just the way I was throughout the games at home, shouting and screaming,
Absolutely, an excitement that is uncontainable. And even right there in Birmingham, you could see the excitement amongst not just Nigerians, but also African countries, sportsmen and women, sports ministers who found a way of sitting together and cheering each other. Even when our countries were competing against one another, we knew it was based on merit and the excitement was palpable. But also what we saw was a phenomenal performance, incredible performance on behalf of our athletes. Most of them young athletes, groomed in the last 3-4 years, some of them 5 years. But they came on and put on a ruthless execution of talent. And that is a production we saw eventually that put us at the 7th position. And of course, the best ever outing on behalf of Team Nigeria.
What is the secret and what makes it different this time around?
Well, I think the starting point, I give it all to the athletes. because, to be a successful athlete, you have to be disciplined. Even if you have the talent and you're not disciplined and you don't follow a program and a particular pattern, you don't work with the coaches, you don't get the right support, you will not excel. So I give it to the athletes because they had the talent, they honed their skills, they logged in hours of training, they went through qualifying series across the world, they went to championships and competitions, they worked very closely on a program with their coaches and technical advisors, and I think it paid up eventually. But also, a lot of credit goes to the federation that worked very closely with them. A lot of credit goes to their coaches and the technical crew. Beyond that, also, a lot of credit goes to the federal government because we kept faith by keeping these athletes on Team Nigeria. The federal government kept faith by making sure that we moved them around and we did not miss any important competition or championships they needed to go to compete, to get the ranking they needed, to get the experience they needed. Iron and sharpen iron. So when they meet with the best in the world, they compete, they see that they need to go higher. And you see what happened, the trajectory. We came from the Olympics, we got down to work, we took care of business, we came down, we went to Mauritius, we performed very well. We went to Kenya, Nairobi, the junior championship, world championship. We came third for the first time with 7 medals. And then we moved on from there. We went to Oregon. Before we went to Oregon, we had several classics and open trials. And then we had the final national trials in Benin, where we picked that team to go to Oregon and the team to go to the Commonwealth. And then the Spirit of Oregon. That is where we broke the barrier. The World Championship. The World Championship. We saw the performance. Beyond Toby Musa, who did excellently well. She had next fourth position. And on the Adidas wall, athletes are able to write a comment on the Adidas wall. And she wrote, working, that same spirit can make them deliver for our country.
From the World Championship to the Commonwealth Games, it's glaring that the women stood out. What happened to the men?
Well, it's when it comes to sports, sometimes, like I always say, just like in life, not everything is not 100%. When you look at it, when you do a review of Nigerians' performances, not just at the Commonwealth but in sports, you see various epochs. There were epochs in which just the men carried this country in sports. I think it's the turn of the women. We give it to the women. I salute the women. They did exceedingly well. They delivered for this country when it mattered most. The men have done it in the past. We'll see the men do it again. But also see what the men did. They got silver. They got bronze for us in 4x100 relay. The last time we had podium performance as a country was 27 years ago.
Yes.
They have turned the page of that history. The 4x100 women relay, that's the blockbuster. In 40 years, we've never had a medal in the 4x100 women relay. And those girls, Toby Musa, Wokocha, and the other 2 girls delivered for this country. And I think they've really set the bar very high. We hope that we can keep these young athletes together and prepare them for France 2024.
How do we begin to go back, working very hard on these athletes and go back to the glorious days also of Mary Oyale, Davidson Ezenwa, and just recently, the junior team at Cali didn't do very well.
Yeah. Well, when you see like a flash, yes, you can see that already coming back. What we saw at the Commonwealth was a manifestation of the work done maybe in the last 5 years, especially on the part of the athletes who have put themselves out there to compete, to make sacrifices. We saw that manifestation, but also we saw a signposting of the future of our sports. We will go from here stronger. We'll go from there taking on critical lessons that matter. There are several things we got right this time. We've noted them and we'll keep doing them. But also, we're going to mine the data. Beyond the medals that we won, the devil is in the details. But this time, the positivity is in the details. World records were set. Certain records were broken. New records were set. We want to look at that. How did we achieve that? Who are those that achieved it? What do we need to do to keep them together? That is critical.
Okay, what are we expecting from Turkey?
Well, in another tomorrow, or basically on Wednesday or Tuesday, we expect to have the 92 Nation Solidarity Games, and Nigeria will be there. Some of these athletes who have been running in the last 5 months, some of them again to Konya in Turkey. And we expect that we're going to compete in a number of sports. We expect that this excellence will also come through.
Okay, Mr. Sondedare, Honorable Minister for Sports and Youth Development, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
News.
NTA, for having me this evening.
Thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you. Congratulations to all of us.
Thank you. Moving on, President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, on conferment of a fellowship status by Chartered Institute of Information Security. President Buhari congratulates the minister on the historic recognition, being first and only African fellow admitted into the institute amongst 89 older fellows. The president notes the passion, diligence and creativity that Professor Pantami has brought into governance since assumption of office, enabling a convergence and synergy that takes security into full consideration, especially in the global cyberspace. President Buhari also appreciates SISEC for the recognition to Professor Pantami and the effort at providing a community of professionals that work towards protecting the interest and safety of global citizens on the internet. SISEC is the only genuine information and cybersecurity institution granted the Royal Charter of Incorporation status in the United Kingdom since 2018 and saddled with the responsibility to raise the standard of professionals in information and cybersecurity. Now, former governors Joshua Dare and Jolie Inyame have been released from Kuje Custodial Center Monday afternoon. In a statement, Public Relations Officer, FCT Command of the Nigerian Correctional Services, Humphrey Chukwedo, says the release is sequel to the receipt of letter of clemency for the Presidential Prerogative of Mercy Committee by the Controller General of Corrections, Haliu Nababa. The statement further indicates that the Controller of Corrections, FCT Command, Ahmed Musa Ahmed, acting on the directives of the Controller General, also released 3 other inmates who were granted pardon from the Suleja Custodial Center. Chukwedu explains that the pardon, which was granted earlier this year by President Muhammadu Buhari, was based on recommendations from the Presidential Prerogative of Mercy Committee after interviewing all inmates based on deteriorating health status, age and good behavior while serving their sentences. You're watching NTA Network News. Let's take a break. The news continues shortly. Do stay.
Use Smart Cash, the secure way to send and receive money, pay bills, and buy airtime and data. Dial *939# from any network to get started.
I beg. I want to put Smart Cash wallet. That's smart.
Smart Cash Payment Service Bank. Money Matana sense.
National Population Commission, in collaboration with United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, organizes National Stakeholder Summit on the 2023 Population and Housing Census. Theme, Getting the People Involved. Date, Thursday, 11th August, 2023. Venue, State House Conference Center, Abuja. Time, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. To be declared open by Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The goal of the summit is to broaden the national support base for the successful conduct of the 2023 census, create public awareness, and promote robust and informed national conversation on the processes and procedures for the 2023 census. The forum will feature presentations on the status of preparations for the 2023 census, methodology and procedures to be adapted, and upcoming preparatory activities in the census calendar. Participants at the forum will include invited guests are expected to arrive at the venue latest by 8:30 a.m. for rapid COVID-19 test and be seated at the venue by 9:30 a.m. Honorable Nasia Isakwara, announcer.
I dey look for pension fund administrator. Where stuff makes sense, we care for me. No be the time when story go enter the matter when it's time to deliver. No. The brand is sure them no go stress you. Call them, then they accessible. Yes. Customer care where they on point. No go regret when you try on casa. Visible investment, everything, just a blend. Today, make that switch to premium pension. Make that switch to premium pension.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
Fighter from Niger, 60 years of comfort. Quality is fighter, quality is fighter, fighter for sure. Is fighter, thank you for the joy, memories of comfort.
Vitafoam is proudly Nigerian and constantly support Nigerians with consistent quality products for comfort and well-being. With Vitafoam, you don't just sleep. We give you the comfort that gets you recharged. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
His Excellency Nyesom Ezenwa-Wike, CON, GSSRS, POS Africa, Governor of River State, cordially invites the general public to the official commissioning of the dualized Bunabali Eastern Bypass Road in Port Harcourt. The dualized Bunabali Eastern Bypass Road is constructed by Governor Wike to attract enormous economic benefits to the residents and the commuters. His Excellency Senator Aliu Magatakeda Wamako, former Governor of Sokoto State, will commission the road on 9th August 2022. Time 11 a.m. All invitees must adhere to COVID-19 protocol, including wearing of face mask. You welcome, Your Excellency, and all invited guests. Announcer Kelvin Ibiri, Special Assistant on Media to the Governor of River State.
Just a moment. The refrigerator. Hello? Sunday. Yes, my guy. Come. 1,000 naira. Buy me Airtel recharge card. You heard what I said? Thank you. Sunday, don't finish me. I say 1,000 naira recharge card. You carry 8,000 naira of my money. Go load them. Because money there your hand, Abi.
Oga, no. As I load the 1,000 naira, I use Airtel over Jara, turn them to 8,000 naira, just like that.
8 times the value of any recharge, plus double data and 1,000 naira activation bonus when you buy a new SIM. Sunday, go buy us. Okay. I'll make sure they put over Jara for you.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Thanks for rejoining us. In his capacity as Minister of Petroleum Resources and in consonance with the country's drive for foreign direct investment in the energy sector, President Muhammadu Buhari has consented to the acquisition of ExxonMobil shares in the United States of America by Seplat Energy Offshore Limited. ExxonMobil has entered into a landmark sale and purchase agreement with Seplat Energy to acquire the entire share capital of Mobil Producing Nigeria Unlimited from ExxonMobil Corporation, Mobil Development Nigeria Incorporated and Mobil Exploration Nigeria Incorporated, both registered in Delaware, USA. Considering the extensive benefits of the transaction to the Nigerian energy sector and the larger economy, President Buhari has given ministerial consent to the deal. ExxonMobil and Seplat are expected to carry out operationship of all the oil mining licenses in the related shallow water assets towards production optimization to support Nigeria's OPEC quota in the short term, as well as ensure accelerated development and monetization of the gas resources in the assets for the Nigerian economy. President Buhari also directed that all environmental and abandonment liabilities be adequately mitigated by ExxonMobil and Seplat. Now, all slides and recession fears as investors lose 125.4 billion naira in the capital market. Musa Abubakar has details on Business News.
Thank you, Jumai. Oil prices reversed losses on Monday, turning positive despite recession fears that could hurt demand outlook and data that pointed to a slow recovery in China's crude imports last month. CNBC reports that Brent crude futures added 1.36% to trade at $96.34 per barrel. Front-month prices hit the lowest level since February last week, tumbling 13.7% and posting the largest weekly drop since April 2020. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude stood at $90.26 for a gain of 1.4%. The contract fell 9.7% last week. And to capital market, the bears have a grip of the stock market in Nigeria this Monday as trading ended on a negative note. The all-share index depreciated by 0.46% to 50,489.73 basis point. Market capitalization dropped to 27.2 trillion naira. 207.19 million naira were traded on the floor of the exchange in 4,234 deals valued at 2.1 billion naira. FBN Holding, Multiverse and Access Holding Company were among the top traders in terms of volume. Well, that's business news. Jumais, back to you.
Thank you, Musa. Nigeria and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, has so far invested $455 million for the financing of two key agricultural projects. Consequently, the United Nations Organization, alongside African Development Bank and Islamic Development Bank, are making efforts to finance Nigeria's agro-processing zones project in the country. Musa Aliu tells us more.
The partnership between Nigeria and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, has been rated as the largest in the world. The two parties are currently funding value chain development program in 6 states. This is in addition to the Livelihood Family Support Program in the Niger Delta.
Very soon,
IFAD country coordinator in Nigeria says more programs will be provided for Nigeria.
Through the partnership with the federal government of Nigeria and IFAD, the special agro-processing zone program will be also launched.
And this gathering here is to discuss how to scale up the Nigeria-IFAD partnership. It is to include standard procurement and financial discipline in management of funds.
Expected to lead to the following results. 1, participant knowledge of financial management and procurement will be improved. 2nd, action plan for quality and timely project procurement will be developed in line with recommendation of supervision and support mission.
Obandoma Ularamu represented the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. He said the ministry is appealing to participating states to ensure prompt payment of their counterpart funds.
This will enhance the achievement of all the developmental objectives of the project optimally, while keeping in mind value for money and acceptable compliance to the IFAD policy and procedure.
The participating states under the Value Chain Development Program are Anambra, Benue, Ebonyi, Niger, Ogun, and Taraba. Musa Aliyu, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has forwarded the name of Muhammad Sabo Lamido to the Senate as Executive Commissioner, Finance and Accounts for the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. In a letter addressed to the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawal, the President said Lamido is being nominated due to the death of Hassan Gambo, who occupied the position until his demise. President Buhari urged the Senate to confirm the nominee in the usual expeditious manner. The use of mobile vaccination strategy while strengthening the campaign to mitigate COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy is a key component of the newly inaugurated Skills 3 strategy by the federal government's Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says the Skills strategy is to achieve COVID-19 vaccination uptake and ensure better healthcare delivery in Nigeria. Olushi Adegbo has details.
The skills, service delivery, communication strategy, accountability system, logistic, electronic meat platform, and supervisory is a national strategy for COVID-19 vaccination in Nigeria. The Skills 2 strategy was earlier flagged off in February this year to ramp up integrated COVID-19 vaccination and primary health care services across the country.
Now he's taking his second booster.
The processes that will be put in place will greatly assist in deepening the uptake of vaccines all over the country to accelerate the vaccination by identifying the enablers that are unique to each state and developing them and also deploying them as state-specific strategies that will help us to ramp up coverage.
We can now move closer to the people, moving not only from the health facilities, but making sure that we're able to go settlement by settlement, and then in some instances go door by door, so that the vaccines are now brought closer to where people live and work.
With more than 27 million Nigerians now fully vaccinated against COVID-19, global partners and other key players in COVID-19 national response commended the efforts of the Nigerian government for prioritizing vaccine sufficiency and availability in the country. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Talking security, the Nigerian Armed Forces is taking steps to ensure officers on the field are mentally sound to confront emotional challenges. This will also upscale troops' combat efficiency in ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast by reducing emotional trauma experienced at the war front.
A lot of people feel it is only those who have contacts with problematic situation that can be stressed, forgetting the fact that the society itself is full of factors that will contribute to stress. And the families of soldiers, family of airmen and naval victims are being affected. So we now feel the best thing is to bring the crossbreed of every sector of Nigeria together. Let us look at the issue rather than being judgmental and saying somebody's mad or has mental problem. There might be issues, there might be way by which we can manage and reduce the risk involved.
One of the big things in the military is that it's not that there's no mental health, mental illness, no mental health conditions, but because of the stigma that is associated with it, people don't want to talk about it. But when a program like this increase awareness, and also there is a component of the course that talk about resilience. Courses like this shows them better way to cope with mental health, even at the war front, and also make room for them that you can talk about it. We are here to help you.
Participants were drawn from the military and also civilians across the country. President Muhammadu Buhari warmly felicitated with Minister of Labour and Employment Dr. Chris Nwabuze Ngige on his 70th birthday, rejoicing with the political leader on many strides and achievements which include impact and governance at both state and national levels. As Minister of Labour, President Buhari acknowledges the foresight, sacrifice and insight of Dr. Ngige in labour laws, creating employment opportunities, stimulating a healthy working relationship between employers and employed, leading negotiations between unions and government, and putting the interests of workers first, especially for their wages, salaries and allowances. The President prays for the well-being of the Minister and his family. Time now to join Michael in Lagos for more on Network News. Hello, Michael. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Jimmy. All the basic infrastructure on the 37-kilometer Red Line Rail project with overpasses from Agbado to Marina will be completed by December this year. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu gave the assurance after inspecting the pace of work done on the site of the Red Rail Line project in Lagos. Musa Toliat has details.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu led a team of elected council members on a tour of the Red Line rail stations and tracks to ascertain the possibility of completing major works on the project before the end of the year. Having visited train stations in Agege, Ikeja, Onipan Mushin, Oyingbo and Yaba, Sanwo-Olu reassured residents that the progress made so far shows passenger operations would commence on schedule.
Ikeja happens to be the iconic station on the Red Line. And you can see that that station is on a wide expanse of about 240 meters. In clear terms, that's the size of almost 3 football fields. Well soiled. And it's at roof level. It's going into completion. And all of the things, all of the furnitures that needs to make it a first-class train station, you can see that we're on track with it.
Sanwo-Olu, however, said there are plans to introduce permanent fencing system to curb incessant trading on train tracks on Yaba to Agege corridor.
Similarly, in Yaba, you could see that Yaba looks a lot better in terms of selling on the track. It's a lot better because the conversation has been had with them and they've started clearing themselves. The whole of Yaba, there's a lot of pedestrian movement. So from the train station to the bus station and going into the market, it's all going to be pedestrianized.
The governor hinted that plans are on to regenerate the area surrounding the Onepa and Mushin train station. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
The seizure of 201 cartons of expired seasoning products worth millions of naira is infusing new ideas in anti-smuggling drive, and the Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigeria Customs Service is warning members of the public to be mindful of imported products as they could be injurious to both their wellness and the economy. Items with duty paid value of 540 million naira were seized by the customs, while 9 suspects were arrested in the month of July. The importation of rice seems to be the fine solution, but the customs is not backing down based on the simple commitment at enforcing laws and safeguarding public health. The worry now is obvious. It is about cutting off the use of motorcycles for smuggling rice, because more than half of the 7,261 bags seized for the month of July were intercepted on motorcycles. 32 motorcycles were impounded at various locations in Ogun State alone.
Number 1 is written in French language.
This is a clear case of desperation taken far, as the customs intercepted 201 cartons of expired seasoning products built for delivery into the country, where they will be possibly repackaged and distributed. The concern here revolves around threatening the expansion of local markets and health of the citizenry.
From where this was intercepted, I have already given them marching order to ensure that all vehicles coming through that place is stopped and frisked adequately.
Another case of false declaration leads to the seizure of this container at Mile 2, after the manifest indicated that the contents are used motorcycle spare parts, only for the customs to discover they are aluminium profile. The Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Customs Service says aluminium profile are dutiable, but the motive for the false declaration is to shortchange the country, a trend the customs warned will henceforth come with heavy punishments. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.nga/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news continues shortly. Please stay.
Very top guy who knocks out every opponent, but now he's been knocked down by malaria.
Amatem soft gel.
Amatem soft gel makes treating malaria easy. Amatem soft gel is a game changer.
Amatem soft gel. I good to come on malaria for body.
For adults and children, say no to malaria. Yes to life.
We are committed to the unity of our great country, Nigeria.
Let us support our armed forces. Let us stand together with them. Let us stand for them.
Our symbol of unity,
The gallant men and women of the armed forces
on land, air, and sea,
who have continuously put their life on the line, protecting our lives, humanity, and nation.
Let us join them and stick together as one, irrespective of our misunderstanding, be it political, cultural, or ideological.
Our uniqueness is our oneness, our strength is our diversity.
Let us stand by, stand with, and support our armed forces to keep this nation together.
Nigeria is my own. Nigeria is your own. Nigeria is our own. I'm not stalking him. I'm about to serve better breakfast.
Buy any monthly data plan and get up to 5 gigabytes free to use on social media. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Obi, what exactly are you dodging? COVID now. You are very funny. Is this how you have been dodging every cough and sneeze?
Yes, my guy. The thing don't serious.
Have you taken your COVID-19 vaccine?
Leave that matter for Matthias. I have heard plenty things.
Beggy, I have taken my complete dose of the vaccine, and as you can see, I am okay.
Why you come still dey wear mask?
To protect everyone from getting the virus, it's good to dey practice the protective measures as the vaccine work now to stop you from dying from the COVID-19 infection.
This your explanation makes sense.
Go and get your COVID-19 vaccine. It is available in most public health centers and some approved private hospitals.
COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Protect yourself and loved one. Take the vaccine. Stay alive. Let us all celebrate safely and responsibly.
Obi the Dodger.
I beg you, I'm going to get vaccinated now.
This message is from the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Information, NCDC, NPHCDA, and partners.
Uh-oh, Grace, you've got places to be, and this chump has forgotten something, but he must trust you, leaving you with his basket. Time to take matters into your own hands. Grab that papaya. Now, make a mess of it.
Bing bang ding, bing bing bang, bam bam bang, bing bang ding, bam bam.
ARM has partnered with Techstars to launch the ARM Lab Lagos Techstars Accelerator Program, designed to empower fintech and proptech startups in Africa for success. Applicants to these programs stand a chance to receive up to $120,000 in funding, access to 20,000 global investors, and mentorship opportunities from over 7,000 industry experts. Are you a fintech or proptech startup in need of funding? Don't miss this chance to take your business idea to the next level. Hurry and apply today by visiting www.apply.techstars.com.
Wake up the champion in your child. Give them energy to go further. Milo Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa helps wake up the champion in your child.
I don't like to eat better. More nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. No cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic, and enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Welcome back. Arising from the forecasted heavy rainfall expected as the season progresses, the Federal Road Safety Corps has called on drivers to ensure that they imbibe precautionary measures while transiting from one destination to another. In the guide, the Acting Corps Marshal Dauda Alibiu explained that driving in the rain can be risky because one's visibility is reduced and there are usually hazardous and slippery conditions on the road. As such, motorists are always urged to take precautions while driving in order to ensure they reach their destination safely. Accordingly, drivers are warned to ensure that before embarking on a journey during the rainy season, they should ascertain that the windows and windshields are clean on the outside and the inside, and routinely check the headlights, brake lights, tail lights, and tail lights. Now, as the 2023 general elections draws closer, stakeholders from all facets of life in Borno State have unanimously resolved to use non-kinetic approach towards ending violent extremism in order to achieve sustainable peace in the Northeast. These views were unanimously agreed by stakeholders, including religious leaders, at a peace-building symposium organized by Kaltum Foundation for Peace, held in Maiduguri, the state capital. Yagum Subukar tells us more.
Nigeria has over the years suffered a great deal due to activities of Boko Haram insurgents, which subsequently led to setback in all aspects of human endeavor. Worried by this development, Khartoum Foundation for Peace decided to organize this symposium on peace building with the theme, Political Violence, Seeking Non-Kinetic Approaches to Restoring Peace in Northeastern Nigeria. Various stakeholders from across the country spoke on the essence of the gathering, which is promoting sustainable peace for development.
We are educating our people as well as feeding them well so that they are not recruited into the Boko Haram.
To see that peace reign in the Northeast region and also in Nigeria at large.
Discussants at a panel for critical review of the issue, including renowned religious scholars Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, Sheikh Madu Mustafa, Bishop Mohammed Naga, and a social protection expert, Chiroma Usman, dwelt on need for peaceful coexistence and urged youths not to be used for political violence, rather be their brother's keeper.
When our political system is overhauled and there is justice in the nation, I think peace is coming to stay forever.
Nigeria doesn't even need Christian, Muslim. We want somebody who will take us out of our problem.
The take home at the symposium was that disarmament, demobilization and reintegration be applied in peace building and economic empowerment, education, security, among others, as keys to unlocking the doors to sustainable progress and development. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA.
Of Harcourt is next, and Gabriel will be our guide. Hello, Gabriel.
Thank you and welcome to Port Harcourt. The Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, says infrastructural delivery is the primary responsibility of any serious government across the world. This was at the inauguration of Orochiri-Woropo flyover in Port Harcourt, River State. Ogedinyekwe completes this report.
It is another landmark achievement of the present administration in River State with the inauguration of Orochiri-Woropo flyover. This flyover is the seventh in the series of flyover bridges embarked upon by the River State government. Governor Wike says the essence of the massive infrastructural development is to advance commerce and trade, improve the aesthetics of the city, and unlock other potentials in the state. He said bringing other party members outside his party to inaugurate projects is a kind of peer review mechanism that encourages performance and service delivery.
We are very proud that we had this opportunity given to us by our people. We did not disappoint our people. Not everybody be assured that every project that has been embarked upon, like I've said before, will be completed.
Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, extolled the commitment of Governor Wike in the delivery of physical infrastructure across the state. He said purposeful leadership should be able to provide the dividends of democracy to the people.
No doubt, improving the community experience of our people in Port Harcourt, and by extension, it will improve the quality of life of our citizens here.
The Orochiri-Woropo flyover is 840 meters long with overall width of 17.6 meters, 1 meter walkway on each side of the road, and street lights, among other facilities. In Port Harcourt, Ogedinyekwe, NTA.
And that's our package from Port Harcourt Network Center. The news continues with Jemai in Abuja after the break.
Get even fresher with Close Up. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula. It cleans deeply, fights 99% of bacteria, and cools intensely, keeping you protected and fresh. Still fresh, still protected. All day confidence to get close. You Close Up Triple Fresh formula.
We are the dynamic global energy company of choice, steering the course of Nigeria's biggest export industry. With years of commitment, delivering greater value and improving lives. NMPC is transformed to better meet your everyday energy needs and retain the position as the largest contributor to the Nigerian economy, generating clean, sustainable energy with integrity, excellence, and creating value for all stakeholders.
We are NPC Limited.
The power, the performance, concentrated power, concentrated performance, the partnership of concentrated power. Salty, the official regional partner of Paris Saint-Germain.
You clean your teeth every morning, but that fresh breath feeling just doesn't last. The answer? Easy. You keep your teeth strong and healthy and give your mouth long-lasting fresh breath with new Oral-B 2-in-1 toothpaste. It helps strengthen your teeth and gives you long-lasting fresh breath.
So fresh, still fresh, and still fresh.
Stay strong, stay fresh. New Oral-B toothpaste for strong teeth and long-lasting fresh breath.
Last time when you come, you say you know they fit well. How your body now?
As I go clinic, go do test. I get malaria. As I begin take my malaria medicine, I come begin well. I don't even finish the medicine safe. I say make I save the rest of the medicine for another time. Mama put. Wait with this now.
And the saving technique where you know take finish your medicine, now say make I use for you. So that when you go, come back, when the tongue don't catch you well, you come back and shop the food. You can't reach to treat them.
Don't share. Sense, mama. I receive sense, so I could do am correct now. Fever na sign of plenty different diseases, plus including malaria.
To test. If na malaria, they will give you correct medicine. If no be malaria, your health worker will tell you what to do.
Now, Federal Ministry of Health and American people then bring you this message.
I don't like to eat better. More nutritious meals, more veggies. But we want it tasty and easy too. No cubes. That's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic. And enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you. And more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Music is fuel that fires up our soul. Today, African music has a dominant place on the world map. This massive music movement creating waves across the globe.
I have seen the evolution and the growth of this industry.
But every movement starts with a story. And the best place to start any story is at the very beginning.
There's a harmonious energy that can only come from Africa.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque. Please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayer. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the election, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message from the National Orientation Agency.
Thanks for joining us. The death has occurred of Madame Christiana Omwabowale Odunshire, age 80. Funeral arrangement by the family indicates that there will be a Christian wake at Ashawore Compound, 14 Ayayo Road, Ashawore Bus Stop, Imota, Ayayo, Ikorodu Division, Lagos, on Friday, 12th August 2022. Funeral service is on Saturday by 9 o'clock in the morning at Ashawore Compound, 14 Ayayo Road, Ashawore Bus Stop, Imota, Ayayo, Ikorodu Division, Lagos. She's survived by children, grandchildren, and other family members. Amongst the children is Doyin Dia. That's Network News for tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Good night. I am Jummai Yusuf.